How's it going, YouTube? I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about why I think the Houston Rockets are one of the most overrated teams in the NBA. Now, before I get into this video, I already know there's Houston Rockets fans typing in the comment section, "Oh my god, we're going to the finals, we were in the Western Conference Finals last year, how are we ever?" Shut up, okay? Shut up. I understand. I'm not saying you're a bad team. You're one of the better teams in the West. I know that. But I don't agree with the people that are saying they are legit finals contenders. I'll be going into reasons why I don't think they're legit final contenders. And I don't hate the Rockets or anything. I just think they're a little overrated. Now, am I saying they're a bad team? No, they're probably a top 5 in the West. But am I saying they're going to go to the NBA Finals? No, that's why I disagree with a lot of people that rate them so high. So, and kind of going to go into why they're more of a regular season team than they are a playoff team. So without further ado, without running on too much, let's get right into this video. Alright, so my first reason for this video is going to be that they rely on James Harden heavily, and I mean, like LeBron James heavily, as this year Harden is having, yes, one of the best solo career years we've ever seen out of any player, averaging 36 points per game, 6.7 rebounds per game, and 7.8 assists per game. That's an unbelievable year, but he is currently taking the most shots from the field per game out of any player in the entire league at 24.2 field goal attempts per game, and is also currently playing the most minutes per game out of anyone as well, and is currently averaging 32% of his team's points per game. And let's just be honest, singly relying on James Harden this much is going to hurt them in the playoffs for two main reasons. In the playoffs, teams are going to take away Harden and only focus on guarding him and make teams beat him, and we're already seeing that happen, and the teams that really have done it effectively, like the Philadelphia 76ers, have really exposed the Rockets and beat them pretty handily when they're able to do it, and teams like the Warriors are going to be able to completely take Harden out of the game. Well, obviously not completely, but they're going to be able to take Harden out of the game, get him off his rhythm, get him off his spot, and it's going to force players on his team to beat him, and they haven't really been able to do that all year. But also, due to how many minutes this dude is averaging, he's not a big, unbelievable physical specimen like LeBron, who can take on all these minutes and really just not get injured a lot. But I mean, James Harden isn't like that, so him taking all these minutes is going to hurt them a lot when he's playing like 48 minutes a game in the playoffs, and he's going to be at a very high risk of injury. And if James Harden gets injured, this team is done. There's no way they're winning a playoff series, and if he gets injured in the regular season like right now, there's a pretty big chance they don't even make the playoffs if James Harden gets hurt for a long period of time. So I mean, that's really going to hurt them a ton due to how many minutes he's playing and just how much they're relying on him. I mean, when one player is averaging 32% of your points per game, you should probably look into how to fix that and patch up that hole. Yes, Chris Paul's been injured for a big majority part of the season. He's still coming back, but I mean, I'm be getting into that later, like why Chris Paul is like not as big of a part of the team as he was last year. But now my second reason is going to be the lack of depth that they have. Now, yes, them getting Kenneth Faried has helped a lot, and Austin Rivers has helped a lot due to their depth. But I mean, if you look at the starting lineup, they have Chris Paul, James Harden, Capella, Faried, who's been playing great lately. But really, outside of them, they don't really have much at all. As we've seen, PJ Tucker is not the same player he was last year. He's getting older, and he's just not the same player he was. He's like a step slower. Iman Shumpert, I mean, he's a big downgrade from what Trevor Ariza was last year. So, I mean, they're really only 4 deep of their starters. 4 of their starters are only, like, really good when they're healthy. And then their bench, who has Eric Gordon. Yes, he was the 6th man of the year and a great bench player, and I like him a lot. But at age 30, his shots are starting to drop a little bit less. His stats are starting to drop a little bit as well. So, I mean, in the next coming years, Eric Gordon's going to start getting old, and he's really not going to be that effective. And we're already seeing this year his stats are dropping a little bit despite playing 1 more minute per game than he did last year. But now, another one is like, Austin Rivers has actually been a pretty solid piece off their bench when they're healthy. So, when they're extremely healthy, they're probably a legit 8-man deep. Now, in the playoffs, you really only need 8 men. But the problem is, those 8 people, since you're only legitimately 8 people deep, those 8 people are going to have a lot of wear and tear on their bodies by the time it gets playoff season. And once the playoffs hit, that wear and tear is going to show if they go into a lot of 7-game series and have to have hard-fought series. That fatigue is going to start to set in, and that's really going to hurt them a lot. And that lack of depth in total for the regular season stuff is going to hurt a lot. That's why you see teams like the Warriors, they will get people like Jordan Bell, McKinney, and players like that and just play them. Yes, they're not that compared to other NBA players. They're not that good and they're not that productive, but it's a lot better to get like steal minutes with them and kind of stagger the minutes with your starters, because you don't want all your starters to like have 48 minutes a game on them, and then your bench has about 30 or 28 minutes a game on them as well. Going to the playoffs, going to a 7-game series, they're all tired and getting injured and getting fatigued and stuff. That's going to hurt your team a lot in the long run. But now for my third reason, which is going to be injuries. Now obviously CP3's entire career has really been kind of ruined in big moments by injuries, as I mean this year he has already missed 23 games. Last year he missed a total of 58 games plus 2 enormous Western Conference Finals games that they probably would have won if he was healthy. They ended up dropping them both and getting eliminated from the playoffs. I mean, even with the Clippers, he got injured a lot in the playoffs. I mean, and other players on their team as well, I mean, have a pretty big injury history. Eric Gordon has had a huge injury history since he went with the Rockets. Not as bad, but I mean, when he was with the Pelicans, there were seasons where he was playing like 9 games with us. Trust me, as a Pelicans fan, I know he could not stay healthy. He was really good when he was healthy, but he just couldn't stay healthy. Clint Capella this year has been struggling with injuries and still hasn't came back. Austin Rivers has had a little bit of injuries, but not all that. But I mean, so yeah, they have a lot of players with injury history. That lack of depth is going to come in a big play if they start getting injured. Because I mean, obviously, if Chris Paul or Harden gets injured, your team is pretty much finished at that point. But say a huge role player like Austin Rivers or Eric Gordon gets hurt. Say one of them gets hurt, and then you are now 7 people deep. Well, that's going to hurt a ton, because now your starters are getting even more minutes than they're already getting, and your bench players are getting even more minutes, and you have to insert someone that probably should not be getting hard minutes. You're going to have to be giving them some pretty high minutes just to kind of counteract with the loss of minutes that you have if one of them gets hurt. So, I mean, if Eric Gordon or Austin Rivers does end up getting injured in the playoffs or something, or just in the regular season out for the season, they're going to be absolutely screwed, because, I mean, that depth is going to be very hard to come by. So, I mean, unless they somehow pick someone up in like the buyout market or something, it's going to be very, very tough for this team to make any deep playoff push, and that's why I think they're overrated. I think they're going to be a very good regular season team, but once playoffs come around, they're going to get pretty much exposed, probably going to leave and get eliminated, bounce probably like the second round. But unfortunately, guys, this is my first video, so comment below. Do you agree with me? Do you think the Rockets are underrated? Do you think they're overrated? Do you think they're going to be a good playoff team? How far do you think they're going to make it in the playoffs? I want to hear all your thoughts in the comment section below. Any video ideas you want to see me make in the future as well, comment those below as well. I love making these videos for you guys. And I also have to thank you all so much. We also have to give all praise to God. He's the reason I'm here. He's blessed me like to put me in this position to be here. He's really just blessed me with everything around me to make these videos every other day for you guys and really push him out and spread his name through these videos. And I'm so blessed to be able to do this, and I cannot thank y'all enough. But like I said, that's it for his video, so hope you have a blessed day. Could I have a blessed day? So you need to have a blessed day. See you in tomorrow's video. Goodbye. Boo. Blah, blah, blah.